Hey everybody, and welcome to Overtime, the show where I take a look at board game expansions. Today I'm talking about Kami Unbound, which is an expansion for Rising Sun by Eric Lang. So I'm going to take a look at what's in the box and give my thoughts on this expansion. So I hope you enjoy. So let's take a look at what you get in the box. So first of all, you're going to get 7 of these really gorgeous tarot-sized cards, each representing a different god. And you're also going to get the corresponding figures. And these are also absolutely phenomenal, as you'd expect with miniatures from Simon. We can just have a quick look at them there. They all look absolutely brilliant. And they're nice, they're really kind of striking white, where they really can, you can tell the difference between them and the other models. Unfortunately, my Hachiman didn't have a base, so I'll have to sort that one out. Anyway, the kind of concept of this expansion is that these gods are no longer just like a passive ability. They actually come and physically manifest and help you on the board and contribute towards your armies and your force. So they're really, really useful. I've played a few games with them, and they do make one hell of a difference between the gameplay. You also get this new set of season cards, which I'll go through in a second. So let's take a look at the abilities of each of these gods. So Tsukuyami, before resolving the war in this province, all players with a force in it gain 4 money. So this one's a really good way of accumulating money, especially if you and your partner are in the same province. And as you probably know, money is quite a commodity in this game, so he makes a good difference. We have Susanoo here. There's his model. This one is really, really cool and probably one of my favorites because he can actually kind of lock figures inside a certain region. So anything that's not a kami cannot move out of a province. So he can really dictate how the board is going to move and protect his regions. Very, very cool concept, and I like that one a lot. Ryujin here, there's his model with this little trident. I can just try focus. There we go, looks awesome. This one, so this one kind of accumulates strength as you get more types of season cards. So I think he has a strength between 1 and 5. So he can really pack a punch if you go the strategy of collecting season cards. So he's a heavy hitter, that one. We have Raijin here, which is probably my favorite figure, with his big drum kit on his back. A real bulky bit of plastic there, and he looks fantastic. Again, really, really good artwork. So this one can really mess things around because only Bushi and Kami count their force in the province where he's in. And that's as you can probably imagine, very, very significant if you have a lot of monsters or Shinto in that region. They're completely disregarded. But it is worth mentioning is you can still use Bushi to contribute to those, not Bushi, Ronin to contribute to those fights. So that can make a difference. We have Hachiman here. He looks very, very elegant figure. This one, this one is very, very significant if you've gone the Ronin route, because each Ronin counts as 2 force each. And that is absolutely filthy. That could cause a lot of damage and pretty much guarantee victory. So Hachiman is very, very significant. Then we have Fujin. Fujin here with this big flowing cape. Really, really striking figures. This guy, this one is, I haven't used this one before, but he seems very, very powerful. So he can double the harvest rewards in the province. And if you win so if you win the province token, you also grant us harvest reward. So this guy can really farm you a lot of money, a lot of points, and a lot of Ronin. So he is very, very powerful. And they're all powerful, so everyone's going to be constantly trying to fight for the services of these gods. And finally, we have Amaterasu. There she is. She looks really, really cool with her big fan on her back. Anyway, and she, so basically the figures of the player with the highest honor in the province cannot be killed by other players. So that one really synergizes well with her shrine. The person with the highest honor basically cannot be killed by other players. And that's, needless to say, that is extremely powerful. And so that's what we have. That's all the different seven god cards. And I will say they do kind of, I guess it's another thing to kind of juggle and try to remember what all the different rules try to do. So you're going to be passing the cards back and forth, trying to remember what each one does. But if somebody's played the game once, I wouldn't have any hesitation on chucking these guys into the game. Perhaps I wouldn't do so for a first-time game. Anyway, so let's go take a look at the different season cards. Okay, so first up we have Piety, which is a 1-cost virtue card. This card says that if you win a War Province token with a Shinto, you gain honor and 3 points. And that's a really cool kind of conundrum, because you have to decide whether to use your Shinto as warriors in order to get these extra points, and there's 2 of those, so they will stack, or are you going to use your Shinto to try and influence these gods? So there's 2 real kind of different strategies you can go there, so I like that one a lot. This one here is very powerful, especially if you're not getting the martial cards, or martial mandates, sorry. So whenever any player plays a martial mandate, you may build a stronghold, paying its cost. So you're going to permanently get that bonus if you're partnered with that person, or if you play that mandate or not. So that one's very, very significant. We have the Path of the Kanushi, which is a 2-cost enhancement card. So playing during a martial mandate, you may move one of your Shinto to a different shrine. Oh, that's very, very powerful. I didn't realize that one, because sometimes you overcommit to certain shrines where you don't need to, and that one gives you a lot of flexibility. Then we have Sincerity, which is a 1-cost virtue card. So you gain honor and an additional point whenever you take a hostage. So a big incentive to start taking people's hostage with that one. Then we have Path of the Favored, which is an enhancement card. It's a Shinto upgrade. So your Shinto count is 3 force in provinces where you have the highest honor. Wow, so that one's going to combo well with Amaterasu. So that one's a bit more circumstantial, but when it does pay off, that's going to affect the game quite a lot. Then we have Path of Shengoku, which is a daimyo upgrade. At the end of any harvest mandate, gain the reward of your daimyo's province, if you haven't already. Oh wow! So that one's lets you kind of farm more rewards a bit more efficiently. Then the monsters you get in this one is the Oni of Blood, the Oni of Spite, and the Oni of Hate. Fans of the base game will know what they do, so I'm not going to run through those. Then we have a form of the Tanuki. That's a 2-cost winter upgrade. So you gain 2 points for each different type of season card you have. So I guess that can get you quite a lot of points in the game if you get all the different season cards. I guess that one synergizes well with Ryujin, because he has a bonus that relates to season cards as well. So those 2 cards synergize very well together, and especially if you get the 2 of them, that's a lot of points up for grabs. And finally, we have the Way of the Kiera, which is a war upgrade. At the start of the war phase, kill up to 2 opposing Bushi or Shinto in your daimyo's province and gain 3 points for each. So a big one that's going to affect combats with that one. I really like this set and all these cards, and I love all the god cards, and I'll be incorporating those as much as possible. As I said earlier, probably not for a first game, but with anybody else who's played at least once, I will definitely be incorporating them. They have a profound effect on the game, and obviously you're going to get a bit of variability here, because you're only going to be using 4 of those cards each game, so 3 of them is going to be taken out. So overall, I really, really like this expansion, and it was definitely one that I said I'm going to be using a lot. I definitely don't regret buying this one. Absolutely fantastic, and it is exactly what an expansion should be, because it doesn't add too much overhead to the game. It doesn't really slow things down, but it does add a lot to the strategy and tactics to the game. So I'm really, really happy with this one, and really couldn't recommend this one enough. That's Kami Unbound, the expansion to Rising Sun.